Save it for the booth, conversations from a stoop. Let me introduce the host. They came to speak their truth. We all bringing heat, ain't talk about no propane. First host is pure dope, that's why we call it cocaine. Next up is Punk, he gon' give you what you want. He don't stunt like a pack of Dutchess, he gon' keep it blunt. Sugar Montana, she hot as Louisiana, and she hold no punches, so please excuse her manners. We got big homie, Suave, he pretty chill. When it comes to the topics 100, he keep it real. The show get you in tune, the flow get you enthused. Producer of the pod,
come on with that.
that's why they call me Deuce.
Now, come on. It's actors and actresses.
No, it's actors.
Because it's all under one umbrella. Where we at? 21?
21.
21. What up, what up, what up? Hey, y'all.
What's up, Cocaine? What up?
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Hey, girl.
Who we got in the house?
We on episode 21 of the pod. We gonna get into it because it's some.
I gotta gas y'all up tonight.
We need some heat. It's cold in the shop right now. It was 40 degrees one day, and then we woke up to a snowstorm.
It had gotten close to 50. It was feeling good the other day.
I'm
And
saying.
now,
I almost took my shirt off.
Ooh.
Yeah.
okay.
Shut it up.
We gonna get into it though. We got a special guest in the pod today. Go ahead, introduce yourself.
Hey, y'all. I'm Ebony. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
How
Thank
doing?
you.
How you doing?
And this is, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
We
no.
gonna do a quick temperature check up in here. How's everybody feeling? Big homie, how was your day today?
You know, it's real smooth, relaxing, man. I'm chilling today.
Did you work?
No, I actually didn't.
No,
So, yeah.
That's what it relaxing come
Yeah, I'm
from.
relaxed.
Punk.
I'm good.
You good?
Beautiful.
See you over there with the kicks on, you know.
I
told
can't wear the ones
myself-
from outside, so I gotta.
Look, let me just tell y'all a quick story, right? So I came here and I'm like, before I got here, I got home and I was trying to like scrounge through stuff to put on. And so I unzipped my little shoe case and I'm looking at my shoes. And the first person I thought about was this guy. Because he always come in here first to death, you know, with the clean kicks on, the winterized shoes.
He's
never
blushing.
forget.
Is that another?
Never forget.
No.
He got
These
some
ain't
winterized
winterized.
joints on.
I
He's
don't
blushing.
But I was like trying to find something to wear because I just got off work and I'm like, what am I about to put on? I don't care, but I don't want to look like I don't care. So I was looking at my shoes. I'm like, no, I want to be comfortable. And then I don't have the many shoe options. Mm-hmm. So I'm not gonna try to be like my man over here. I can't keep up with this guy, y'all. I cannot.
She probably got 50 pair of shoes. Unless she's saying she ain't got
Exactly.
many options.
But it's pointless when I say it like this majority of the time. So anyways, that was my little rant.
Do you have a shoe budget?
What that mean?
Like you
how
got
much?
money set aside just for like shoes because they saying you got a big shoe collection. Is it? No.
He don't put a price on shoes.
Oh.
He just throw it in the bag. He throw it in the bag. I don't own the rights to that saying either, but he do.
I just
He be
had
like,
never
"Baby."
heard the term shoe budget, so I was.
That's
it
how you know
confused
he
me.
got it.
Must be
that's
nice.
Nah, I just don't. Shoes is my thing. You know, everybody got their thing.
Right.
Shoes is mine. So
You just make it do what it do, baby. I get it. How you feeling, Ed?
I'm feeling good. Despite this snow, I'm feeling good. Feeling good.
That's cool. Well, y'all already know me. I'm feeling pretty wavy, you know. Got to keep the waves going. It's always a vibe. Shout out to Montana. It's a vibe still.
She ain't never coming back.
All right.
MIA.
Hey. So we gonna get into some of these topics. So since we have a guest, and our thing is we always like for our guests to choose the topics.
What up?
What you was pointing?
Oh.
Oh.
Me. No, it wasn't me. Oh, it's
my fault.
So we like for our guests to choose the topics whenever we do because it's, you know, the right thing to do. So I'm going to get into these topics.
thing to do. We want them to feel
We
nice
just,
and comfortable.
Yeah.
We want to
feel
see what's
loved.
on their mind. You know, we want to give them an open space to speak and, you know, get into some of their thoughts and their opinions.
Ebony, would you like to introduce your topic?
I
Come on.
gotta check.
I have them right here.
Yeah, come on, give it to us.
Okay, so let me
Whichever
see
one you want
which
to go to,
one. The first one is pretty good. Would you cheat if your sexual needs weren't met?
Would you? Would
Yeah.
you? Or okay.
Would you? Or
No.
Or
Or is it
what?
okay?
I was finna say would you or should you, but we doing would you? No.
should you?
We doing would you? No.
But you can do.
Come on, let's get into
Come on.
it.
So what you got?
Should you? No.
But would you? You changed your would now, ain't you?
Nah. I mean, they both a no, but you leave in space when you.
So you're just gonna be miserable.
Yeah, nah. You shouldn't have to just be miserable.
Okay.
So would you?
Nah.
Alright.
You're not gonna expound.
I was gonna let everybody else
Yeah,
answer
alright.
first.
Let's get
Yeah,
a
let's
quick
get
answer from everybody.
The political. So no. So
politically
okay.
correct.
I'll say no. You shouldn't. Would I? No.
Should
scratching
somebody
my
else? Yes.
In the world. What happens in the world, though?
I don't think we should personalize it because
Yeah,
the
we're not-
answers. Let's not make it personal.
Oh, we're definitely
because
not personalized.
Do you
this gotta
think-
be general.
Do
Yeah.
people cheat when their needs aren't met?
Yes.
okay, that we have to revise it a little
Thank
bit.
you.
Can we get?
But
Should they?
that's why we do it.
Yes.
Okay.
They
All
should
right.
cheat if their
So
needs,
now you're
if their
yes.
sexual needs aren't met.
They absolutely do cheat if they aren't pleased and satisfied sexually. They do.
I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, we all got a
Okay.
consensus.
Now, is
but-
it right or is it wrong? Let's go. Somebody give me something.
all right. Y'all want me to start?
Go
Or you can
ahead.
start?
No, go ahead.
Ladies first.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
ladies.
Don't
Ladies
let
first.
them pull that on you, Ed, because they always love to pull that. Anybody could go
And
first here.
it's her topic also.
I just
Yeah.
think that's when communication comes into play. If you're not satisfied sexually in your relationship, what's so hard about having a conversation with your mate and letting them know, like, yo, you're not pleasing me. Like, I'm not getting
What if they
fulfilled.
physically can't get better? Like this is their best. That's what I'm just saying. This they best, and they giving you they sweating. I'm talking about bullets, and you just like nah.
Is it
ain't
something that we can teach them? Like,
you only gonna get so good?
okay, I guess.
You believe that? You believe you're only going to
Yeah.
be so good?
Yeah,
Man.
that's like if you practice a sport, you only gonna reach a certain level of potential, and then
Really?
that's it. Yeah,
Whoa.
That's
You
it.
saying that you gonna hit a plateau?
yeah. Everybody has their own plateaus, and some people's are greater than others.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I don't think people should cheat. Yes, that's tough. Like, you definitely should have a conversation about it. But after the conversation been had, what do you expect the other person to do? Like, you not satisfied. I guess you could leave, right? What if you really love the person though?
Cheat.
Easier said than done.
Nah,
Leaving.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's it. It's tough to just leave. So what do you do?
So
You
if my
continue
man
to
came
not-
to me and said, "Oh, I'm not satisfying him sexually. If I don't get my game together, then that's gonna put in the back of my head he about to go out and do something else. So that's gonna force me to step my game up."
And when it don't, and he do go cheat, then what?
Let's not say cheat. What if he asks you, like, let's bring another individual in the bedroom? Would you be open to that?
It's a no for me.
No.
What about you?
I feel a person should do what makes them happy. If you can leave. But 9 times out of 10, people just gonna go get their rocks off and be happy with the person they really want to be with. And that's just how society is. Like, if I could go sneak and do it, most people go.
Sneak.
Yeah, most people go sneak and do it. You see it every day.
Let's sneak.
Yeah, you see it every day.
That's the only option they got is to sneak though.
Or they can just
Sure,
leave.
I'm just making fun of.
Well, yeah, they
it's so
could just
childish
leave.
to me,
But that ain't easy. Leaving ain't easy.
It's not, but you know what? I do like, and it's no big deal. But I remember us having this conversation before, earlier, like on another episode, and we were talking about it, trying to see, you know, what would you do, like if you weren't interested or you wanted this individual, your partner, to do something, and they just wouldn't do it, like it wasn't their thing. Are you okay with it not being their thing? Like, this is somebody that you're with, and we can obviously go from a more general standpoint. Is it not okay to just be like, well, you know, he or she tried it and it just didn't work, and that's okay, and not go and cheat? Is that a normal, could it be a normal consensus? Because no, it's not, obviously, because we already said that people gonna do what they gonna do if they not satisfied. But could it be a normal consensus that people just be like, you know what, babe, cool, I'm okay with that, at least you tried it and you don't like it?
No, most people want to please themselves, which is. No, I'm just being honest. You only like, you know, you got wants and needs, and most people gonna fulfill their wants and needs. So if it's just not hitting right, it's just not hitting right. You know what I'm saying? People go and do what they might love the person, but they gonna go do their own. You did, you know. I just feel like that's how society is overall.
Deuce, you in this today, or you in the background hanging out? You ain't got nothing. He love being back there on the low. He love being back there on the low. Like, I'm not here.
And sex actually plays a huge factor in relationships.
90%.
Wow, that's a lot.
That is
Absolutely.
a whole lot.
Sex is the biggest part.
If you didn't have that physical, all that, the sex wasn't good in the beginning, you probably ain't make it this far. So it had to be a big deal. Who stayed with somebody that they had bad sex with?
I have. Like, I
One in a
had
million.
a 4-year relationship with somebody, and the sex wasn't that great.
One in a
but we
million.
just had a good
You ain't
time
say
together.
It was bad. You said it wasn't that great. Everybody ain't great.
But it doesn't mean.
But you ain't say it was bad.
She wasn't
She
fully
careful.
satisfied, though. Come on now.
How many times you gonna do that again?
Probably not.
Exactly. I mean, nobody is.
I can't say.
You just said.
We had a good time
Nobody-
with each other. Like, we were still able to go out, kick it, just have a great time. It's just like
You
the
could be a
sex
great
just wasn't.
friend. You go
Like
out and
all
kick it and have
that.
a great time with your friends. Y'all could have just been friends.
So let me ask you this, Ebony. He said that it's 90%. What percentage do you think sex plays a part in a relationship?
About 60 to 70%, which is still pretty high, but it's not 90%.
I was gonna say-
90 is tiptoeing
gonna
away
say
from the
75
full
to 80.
thing.
I was saying 75 to 80.
I'm just being realistic. People don't want the best. You don't typically stay with somebody and the sex was bad. You just don't.
I think with me in that relationship, he wasn't big on oral sex. And that's a big thing to me. I think that's like foreplay. And that kind
It
of
absolutely is.
turned me off, like, you know, with, you know, being intimate with him like that. So,
I got a question. He didn't like giving or receiving?
giving.
Oh.
Don't start.
That episode was never released.
Don't start. It wasn't.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
'Cause, you know, we got a unicorn over here when it comes to that area of pleasure.
I want a little snippet like of like what happened.
He
So-
don't prefer oral sex, so he don't
Like-
really care too much about getting it.
I would give it. I don't care about receiving it.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
You met somebody, you met a dude like that before?
I have not.
I love when she just be like, you know, that's interesting because
She got a
it's so
good
much
poker face, I
more
swear.
to,
She was like, she got a great
it's more
poker
that
face.
follows behind that. Like,
Has it always been like this? Or you just haven't gotten like had a good experience?
That's what I said, but he said he had great experiences.
I done got the gawk, 3,000, and it's just
couldn't have been.
What's the gawk 3,000?
Man, y'all put me on the spot.
Well,
like that.
because I was just trying to give our guests, a little bit more insight on the conversation that she missed, and then we'll move on from it.
That's all she needs to know.
No, look,
I'll tell you what the gawk
He don't-
3,000 is later.
I didn't got the real deal. You know what I'm saying? Real deal.
How do you know it's the real deal if you don't enjoy it?
It's a great question.
Okay. All right.
I didn't got the real deal. Just trust me, I didn't got the real deal.
And he still, prefers.
And I'm
what he
standing on
prefers.
it.
I'm. You know what? I'm not mad at you, brother. You
glad I'm
do your
producing.
thing, okay?
Yeah.
You stand firm on that.
Yeah. I
Now,
am.
Punk, you didn't really give your insight on this.
My insight. What was the question?
Did you give your insight on the first question?
Is it okay to cheat? Is that what? That's what? Yeah,
If your sexual needs ain't met.
yeah. I gave my insight.
I was saying it wasn't personally, but I do think generally that people do that. Yeah. I don't even think it has to be sexual. I think people cheat when other needs aren't met.
Has anybody in this room ever cheated?
Yes. Crickets. Okay.
Yeah, it get hot when that camera get on.
So like, all right.
Because
So
I thought
look,
you was producing. Like, what are you doing?
He is.
I've talked to multiple people, and I was almost serious with one. So it's not like, it's kind of like, we was almost there, and I was still, talking to others, but like just pure like cheating now.
Coke killer? You already admitted you have coke killer on the
I
pod.
have. I'm not. I wouldn't retract my statement. Of course, I've cheated.
Ebony,
I say that
it
so
is
proud. Of course, I did.
I have.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure we get in the room for the real ones.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to make sure we keeping it real on here.
Cheating. Calm down.
I'm sorry.
Cheating can go so many different ways, though. But before I get into what that is, Punk, you said yes first. He was quick to say that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I mean, those.
I had a quick
Are you
question.
trying to figure out the reason
No,
why?
I had a quick question though. Like, what is worse, physically cheating or emotionally cheating?
Emotionally.
Expound.
Oh, because I feel like if my significant other is mentally, emotionally attached to another person, my bad, is emotionally attached to another person, that just make it 10 times worse because you really got feelings for them. Like, a fuck is a fuck. But when you connecting with somebody, it's over with.
I would have to say physical. Just to think that my mate, my man, my guy is being intimate like that, regardless if feelings are involved or not. But just to imagine that he's being intimate like that with somebody else, that he's sharing himself like that with someone else, that shit hurts.
Yeah, I'm going with physical. Just because my imagination's stupid. Like, I get to seeing shit, and then I'm pissed off. Like, that shit is, yeah.
I'm gonna say
Emotional.
say it again. You're right. I'm gonna go with emotional, but I will say this because before it used to be physical, but you grow and you mature in certain ways, so I'm definitely gonna say
So now I'm
emotional.
immature because I feel like physical.
I'm talking about
Anyway.
myself. It's not always about you. Can we get along? Can we do
Okay.
We
that?
are.
Okay.
So, I know a guy, he know his girl cheat. He get a little mad, whatever, they go through their thing. But once he found out that she was saying, I love this other guy and all that, he went berserk. Like, it's real. Like, when you see your significant other love somebody else, that's probably like a different type of hurt that I ain't trying to feel.
Well, I've actually told somebody I loved them and didn't mean it. So, like, just seeing it,
It must have been some real deal stuff in what he's saying because he ain't
Ain't
taking
nobody
away.
paying attention to the fact that she over here like, I let him know I love him and I don't even mean it, It's
That's
just-
player.
right. She over here
Really?
playing with it. Like, I tell them all the same thing.
What does that mean?
Pushing that P. Sorry.
I'm definitely on the emotional side though. I don't want my significant other expressing whatever it is that he decides to express when he decides to express it to someone else, and then you telling them that you love them too, because when you, and this may not apply to men, actually, it doesn't. However,
You ain't said it yet. You don't know.
because I was
She's a man. She knows.
no, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong. When a person starts expressing themselves, does it or does it not, when they open up to someone, I'll say that, does it or does it not make those intimate moments more, like, passionate and better?
It does.
Punk?
Yeah, it do.
Oh, okay, well, cool. All right, well, I was wrong. All right. Because
Oh, that was the one you said we.
yeah, because
Oh.
you just said, an F is an F. Like,
Yeah, but I
So,
think
if
men
that's
can
what it
separate
is-
it easier than women.
right,
so.
which is
Absolutely.
why I originally felt like, a man doesn't have to tie emotion and sex together, whereas most women do.
Right,
So
we don't.
I'm looking at it as if a man is emotionally connected to a woman, then he's going to decide to, like,
But when you're emotionally cheating, you don't have to actually be emotionally connected. But if you like texting every day, if you just like there all the time for that person, I feel like you don't even have to say I love you, but that's still emotionally cheating.
but I'm just saying that
Definitely
it's
is.
the emotional part is
I
worse
learned
for
that
me
the hard
because
way.
that's what.
What you say, Punk?
I learned that the hard way.
Is it a story time?
No.
Oh, we have
So-
story time too. Don't let me forget, dude.
Nope.
So y'all
Uh-huh.
I
saying
ain't covering that today.
What?
I reread the question and said, "Did it get you out your body?" And no, I was in my body. And I did what I
But we could still cover that though.
You can.
Y'all haven't had conversations.
It
that was
in-
about story time?
It was about story time. It was in the text. It was in the chat. So.
All right, we gonna move on, y'all. Anybody else got anything to add? No. Okay.
Satisfy your partner.
If you can.
If your mate, if you are physically able to,
Yeah.
if your mate had an interesting, wild past, do you think you deserve to know up front?
Ooh.
Yes. Absolutely.
Why?
I really want to know why.
Wait. Let everybody get their
All
answer.
right.
So, yeah, I'm gonna say yeah.
I agree. You should share it up front.
I'm gonna go with no.
What you don't know won't hurt you. All right,
That is
expound
true.
somebody.
I deserve to know, because if some shit come up, I don't want to be sitting here like, huh? I ain't know. You know what I'm
Shit
saying?
Come up like what?
Anything from your past jump out. Like, I'm not trying to not know. I would rather know so I can deal with it.
Give us an example so we can know what you mean.
I could kind of help him. Like, all right. So my answer wasn't exactly your answer, but I feel like I should know, because if you fucked a lot of people that I be around, I would rather know that. Like, just so for myself. I don't want to be in a relationship with you and be like, a nigga come up to you like, yeah, man, your girl used to woo woo woo.
Wow.
Right. You know
You know what I'm saying?
You know, if
But-
I know.
I'm not judgmental,
Right.
because you could go be a hoe somewhere else and I'll be cool. If you was a hoe in Florida, I don't give a fuck. But if you was a hoe where I grew up and everybody know, you know.
So you saying that will determine?
Yes.
Okay.
Even if it was a long time ago?
Yes, because if I see the same guys all the time and we out, it's just mentally, I'm gonna be fucked up in a relationship, because I'm gonna think all the time like, damn, this nigga really was You know,
Hey,
You
so
was
you
doing
ain't
all,
gonna
you
be
was
able to
doing
hang
all
out
this
with him no
shit for all
more.
these niggas.
Man.
Now
what if
I'm
you're-
mad at them.
you just uncomfortable.
So, but what if you're already in it and like you got your feelings involved, and then you find out after the fact?
I'm pulling out. I'm good at that.
Okay. Okay.
You want to go, Ed?
I agree. I think some of that stuff, especially like if you've been like extremely promiscuous, that stuff should be shared up front. But then again, I'm the type that, it was in the past, so what does it really matter right now? This is something new. Like if, my past ain't got nothing to do with what I got going on right now. But
Well, what if it comes about? You get what I'm saying? Like,
You handle it then. You do.
if multiple people
Let
keep
me get
coming
in front
up
of that shit. I don't want to be on the back end of it. Let me be in front of it. I need to know what train coming before it come.
But is that going to determine if you gonna mess with the person or not?
If she was whoring,
why you say it so properly?
that's
If
what you
she just
said.
had a promiscuous past.
It depends on how long ago the past was, and if I'm around any other people. I don't want to deal with you knowing you done slept with a
How
bunch
long
of
is long
people.
enough?
Maybe 5 to 10 years.
Five, that's
Oh,
a big
my
age. So
I
5
don't-
years.
God.
Yeah,
I don't think
5 years.
I don't
Yeah,
think
5.
time play a factor.
Shit, for
It's
me, it
really
do.
about
Who know?
who know.
Who?
Like, I'm telling you, it's all about, like, if you ain't never seen all 35, 65, 85 people she been with, you know what I'm saying?
damn.
I mean, yeah, and that's what I don't want to be. I don't want to. If I'm around the people,
Yeah, it's just gonna be awkward.
So I say no. Like I don't need to know. Because it's not that I don't care to know, but it's just not important to me at that time. I think that if you want to share it, sure, but it's not something that like, oh, you need to tell me this, how many people you've been with, did you sleep with this person or did you sleep with that person? Or whatever lifestyle you had prior to me, because my focus is on Mad Punk over there laughing so hard. But I would prefer to.
I had a comment, but I'm gonna let you finish.
I would prefer to focus on like what we trying to do right now. And I like Ebony said, if me and this person are in it and we have already developed feelings, I don't want something like that to deter how I feel about
Absolutely.
you. Like, because your past is your past. It don't.
That's
have
why you
nothing
asked in the beginning.
It don't have nothing to do with me. But it's just not that important to me at that time, But if it's something like Punk said, let me get in front of it. Unless it's something that may hinder me or harm me or something like that I really need to know, sure, tell me. But if not, then it's just not on a need to know basis. Get it out, man, get it out. He over there.
You don't care
about to
because
turn red.
Dick gonna feel the same.
You think so?
Yeah, it don't matter if it was 80 or 100, or it's gonna feel the same.
This is a
I didn't think of it.
In your opinion,
if that's what if that's what the person is mainly focused on, sure. But again, I wasn't just talking about sex. Like who you been with,
We was
'cause
talking about sex.
I know. But that's why I'm trying to, broaden it a little bit, because people live life before us. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who they were in that life before we came around, the things that they were involved in, whatever it was that they were doing. So what could potentially pop you in the forehead is not 80 chicks that she done slept with. It could be something else, Like I forgot who I was talking to about it. Like, oh well, if you found out that your woman was a stripper, she didn't smash nobody, but she was getting naked in front of a lot of people, making bread.
That's a little different.
But it's still
Yeah.
it's still a prior life situation, right? which is not any different. It's a situation, right? How
It's different.
It's different.
Having
You-
sex and
it's different.
just showing your body is definitely different.
So you're okay with your woman?
No,
Okay.
but I'm just saying it's different.
I'm not gonna
It
do
But
it.
would've
does
been
it? So
I'm
you
not
wouldn't
judging
judge
you.
her
Just-
if
I'm good.
If you wouldn't judge her if 80 dudes or thousands of men have seen her naked, possibly in different types of ways, in different types of positions.
I ain't judging
But
her.
you're more.
It just might not be for me.
Okay, so I guess you're saying like the level of your no is different, because it's like, nah, if you smashed 80 dudes, it's definitely a no. But if you showed your body to thousands,
No, it's a no
just
for me.
like,
No,
not
it's a no
me.
for me.
So
But I'm not
what's
judging you.
But you're judging her if she smashed 80 plus dudes.
It's a no for me. I'm not judging. What
But
you
said
did is
it's
what
a
you
difference,
did.
So
Oh no, it's
explain
definitely
how
a
it- how
difference.
it's
Definitely a difference.
Just
I mean, I know the natural
a person
difference
seeing
where
your
one is
body-
like,
a person seeing your body and a person penetrating you is different.
and that's what I just
That's-
said. I
yeah,
know
that's-
that's different. That's blanket. Like, we all understand that, but there's some more sentiment to that. To me, it sounds like it could be some more sentiment to it. If not, I'll let it go. But
Not when it comes to me caring or being with you because of it. It's
either
just
way,
a no.
it's a no.
But it's
As long as she
definitely
strips somewhere else,
So,
I'm okay.
big homie, you gonna stay with
She
her?
was stripping out of state.
Out of state, yeah.
So if she was stripping in Chicago,
No,
it's still a no for you.
it's a no.
So how do y'all think that goes for like majority men, or if we go ahead and generalize this statement, most guys feel like that, y'all think?
Yeah, strippers and whores get wifed every day. So, yeah, I believe they believe, for the most part, how I feel. Like, as long as it ain't in this area, we rocking.
But is that something men ask women how many guys they've been with in the past? Because I don't recall ever
when
being
I was
asked.
15. Now, no.
I wouldn't ask.
Okay.
So how do you wouldn't ask, but y'all would
I would-
prefer for that to be like
Said,
voluntold to
yeah,
y'all, like
yeah.
just tell you up front. And what if she don't?
What you don't know won't hurt you, I guess.
It ain't cheating if you don't get caught.
I didn't say that.
I just had to throw
but-
that in there. Though. Hashtag
It just fits so.
episode.
So, like,
3.
I had
I
a
don't
question because you said no, you shouldn't say it or whatever. So is it okay for a guy not to tell you that he got 13 baby mamas, but he a deadbeat?
No, wait.
That's his past.
It is his.
I was trying not to
go
However,
there.
no. So
That's
here's
always
the thing,
different.
though.
But he don't take care of them, though.
Here's the thing, though, because at some point now, if I'm meeting a guy and I don't know this stuff about him, obviously me getting to know him could or could not, because some people live lives where you don't know a lot about them earlier on in the relationship. I think that if that's this man's life, first of all, who gonna come up to you and say I'm a deadbeat? Who's saying that?
Ain't nobody offering that.
What
information.
woman is coming up
just-
to you saying, I really like you, but I need to let you know I slept with 150 guys?
Right.
This is true.
You know
Nah.
what I'm saying? Like, we gotta get to the bottom.
Okay,
if
so
y'all,
you
if
ask-
y'all ain't gonna ask and she ain't gonna tell, then that mean y'all don't care.
Because people omit information.
Okay,
and
then
omission
I don't care if I don't
means
know.
For you said you want to get in front of it though.
I
so
do. If
No,
it's
I'll-
gonna be
yeah.
a big
The
deal,
question
I would rather
was-
know
I
than
would
not
ask.
The
know.
question-
Get in front of it
the
if you
question
ask.
was
Yeah, I would
if
ask.
your
I
if
ain't
your
gonna lie.
person had a wild or like some sort of like past life, do you think you need to know up front?
No, it said, do you deserve to know? Yes,
I may
you
have
do.
inserted that word. Let me be clear.
Well, that's the word that's on there. Do you deserve to know? Yes, you do.
Yeah, do you deserve to know up front? Exactly. So who is speaking that up front though?
Yeah,
I mean,
you do have to
Yeah.
ask. You
You-
do have to ask. So
Yeah,
I
so
would.
you gotta go
you
back to
deserve
being
it. You
15
gotta-
at this point,
Yeah,
like
you do.
baby.
You gotta
do gotta
ask.
ask.
Yeah.
Because nobody is willing to just give out that information, especially if a person is interested in having a relationship and that's what their goal is. I'm not going to tell you that I slept with this many men because it's going to be my fear that you might move around. So just like a man with 13 kids, he may or may not Actually, I did just meet a guy that said he got 10 kids by 10 different women and still said he was the man.
Did you run?
No, I stood he wasn't trying to talk to me, but it was just in conversation. So I'm just wondering.
Don't judge him.
You know,
That was his
you know what?
past.
I didn't judge him.
It was his past.
It's still his present
can give
though,
him a
because
chance now.
he liked to go around bumping women. He just lived that life. Anyways, back to the topic at hand. No one. This man wasn't trying to talk to me though. It was just like in mere conversation. But
Ebony,
no, I was just saying.
Can I ask Ebony a question?
Absolutely.
So if you found out after the fact that you were talking to, the guy and he has, promiscuous past, would you cut it off because you found out later, or would you still give a guy a chance?
It all depends on how I'm feeling about him. If I'm really, really, really feeling him, then I have to brush it off and just be like, Ebony, that was in his past. Got to move on. Let's focus on what we got going on now. If I wasn't really feeling him, I'd probably leave him alone. Because why would I don't know.
It depends on how tight the connection is.
How the connection is.
So it doesn't matter what it was. It just matters how you were feeling.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm kind of like in between with that one. I don't know. I guess it depends on both for me. It'll have to be both. How deep we in it, and then how what the situation is or what it was. But that's what I'm saying. People past lives be wild though. Like
So, can I
there are
ask?
certain things within a guy that's a no for me, like a complete no, and it wouldn't matter how I felt about you.
Like being 5'1".
I would have to cut it off.
So look, can I ask the women? Is it a number for a guy that's just like a hell no? Like
Number as far as partners? Or
yeah,
baby
partners. Not even like kids. He just tell you like, yeah, I get around. I done slept with.
I get or have gotten.
I have gotten around.
All right.
And I slept with.
I mean, if he get around, y'all ain't together. He telling you up
Yeah.
front, so it don't matter. He might change his life for you. But anyway, he's gotten around.
Is there like a
The
man? That's,
number? I haven't really thought about that.
like,
I would.
50 is alright, but then
50?
92. I'm just saying.
Wow.
She said
Higher
50 too
low.
many.
That's extremely high. 50 women. I was going to say like 10.
You
Okay.
can do that sophomore year.
Let me. So men actually out here just.
People
No,
are
women.
actually
No.
out
Okay.
there.
We are
Men
talking about men, but we are talking about men right now.
He's
Okay,
So
he's
is
asking
it
the women right
is
now,
it a number
what
to
is the
you
number?
that's just like, man, that's just
A lot. Yeah.
where's the
Ebony,
roundabouut?
50 is yours?
No,
She said 10.
Yeah, I was going to say 10.
Oh, shit.
And he said they do that sophomore year. Like, okay.
Not me, of course.
Just too many. Too many.
So no number is just, if they give
What's
you
a
the number
roundabout?
and it's too many.
Like, oh, you know, I slept with 35. Is that like, oh, shit?
35?
That's a lot.
She thinking that's not that many.
Right. Your line is
This is why I feel the way that I feel, because I don't need to know your past life like that. I don't, because
She don't
I
want to be
don't
number
want to
36.
I don't want to be biased in my decision making when it comes down to if I'm feeling this dude or not, and then I find out that he done slept with,
Half of Chicago.
and
People
I don't
you
want
went
to
to
come off
school with.
judgmental either. So I prefer not to know, and that's just me. Unless it's something that is going to harm me, or destroy my life, interrupt my life in any type of way. I just don't. I don't need to know. I don't.
So is 50 men too much for a woman?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. 35?
Yes.
10?
We could talk now.
The door is cracked. He don't leave the door cracked just a little bit for 10.
But no,
if it
real
hits
talk,
number
real talk.
11, it's over with.
No, real talk though. I really don't care as long as it's not 35 people around where I grew up and that I know. But if it's like you did 50 in Florida, I'm gonna keep saying that. I don't care. Like it is what it is.
How many is too many for you, Punk?
Probably 30, 40.
People get around, man. I'm telling you.
And I don't want the people that's getting around. I don't know. I don't want to know. But
I wanted to sing that song so bad. I'm not.
I don't.
Marijuana.
I definitely don't want to know, because if you give me a number and it's like
72.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at you like,
why?
We got people on live saying
This is how I'ma look.
The true body count, so why ask?
exactly.
That's what
Exactly.
That's from, Iceberg.
What?
I could vouch for that.
You
for
heard
real.
what Cole said.
You got to multiply by 3.
Multiply by 3.
But no, look, I'm not judgmental. So like I
Me
would
either.
want somebody to tell me that.
I got preferences though. I don't feel like that's being judgmental. I just don't want.
You have standards.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Ooh,
Because
look
if
at
you
this
done
man having
if you done
standards.
let 50 people run up in you, you probably was letting anybody run up in you just because. And I ain't just anybody.
What if it was
Could have been 50 good guys.
I ain't just anybody.
5 years ago, 5 to 10 years ago.
I don't know if you telling the truth, so I don't know.
So let me ask this though, because
I mean,
he said you made a comment, Punk, and you said the reason why I didn't need to know is because the D still gonna feel the same. So apparently it matters because
All
you feel
y'all
like,
shit don't snap back.
Oh.
There goes.
Well, damn.
there goes the rest of my
No.
question.
No, I would say that's body shame. He ain't say it was like ugly or
I'm
it's
just
like-
everybody ain't got that elasticity. Like everybody shit don't do that.
So that's why it matters.
Yes,
that
the
much.
fit
Yeah.
matters.
Once you rip a hot dog,
If you
bun,
done been through 100
No, listen.
people and the fit nice, it ain't gon' you ain't gon' I might not know.
About- Make sure you zoom in on that part. I'm about some once you split a hot dog.
it ain't the same as when it was closed, right?
Nah, it ain't.
Okay, that's all I'm saying.
But it's everybody ain't got that.
So is that why it matters to you too?
What? How many
When
people?
the, when the hot dog bun split.
Oh no, it don't matter to me. As long as it's not the people around.
Right,
It just matter
right.
if I can see the people on a day-to-day basis.
What if you can't see him?
I don't care.
And it's not out of state though. It's in your same state.
That's gonna be hard. But I mean, if
Why you gonna be looking
saying
at strangers down the street or something like?
yeah, if you saying I'm not gonna
Is
see
he
him,
one of
then I
them?
guess
Is he one of them?
no. I'm saying that I know, like motherfucker be man. You know, she used to fuck with dude back in the day, and you see dude every other day because y'all run into the store. That's kind of like man, you know. But if it's in Florida, it doesn't
This
matter.
man stay going back to Florida.
So if y'all gonna hoe in another state, we don't care.
Why is it us doing that though? Like why do we gotta?
Cause
Oh.
Be
women
wholesome.
accept men whoring. It don't matter.
Wait, what?
Women accept men whoring. Y'all just basically said it. Like
I just said I don't wanna.
y'all, you don't want to know. And if you really like the guy, it don't matter how many he been with. So y'all accept
Wait,
him
I
more
We
than
didn't
us.
know
accept
that's
men
what
horror.
Get
Okay.
into it. Do you think
I
that's
don't
true,
know if
Ebony?
that's what Ebony said.
She definitely said that.
Yeah, I repeated what she said.
Not that she accept me and horn, but
Right,
she
I
said
didn't say
that if
I
she really
accept
liked the
being-
guy, then she probably ain't
doesn't
gonna leave
matter.
him. It don't matter.
But that's a question that I probably would not ask because I don't want to ask anything and it's going to hurt my feelings with the answer I get. So I probably just leave it alone and enjoy us in the moment.
So what somebody did in the past could hurt your feelings?
If he been with 50, 75 women, that's going to be like, damn, you just sleep with anything.
I
Right?
feel you on that.
What if it was 50, 75 good women?
He keep on going
Impossible.
back to this good women.
Impossible.
Because if they was good, why they gone?
If you ran
wasn't
through
ready.
75 good dudes, I'm running anyway because clearly there's something wrong with you if you ran it.
They wasn't ready.
I
at the
need to
time.
go anyway.
Man, I ain't even.
That could have been her sophomore year in school, so it shouldn't
72?
matter.
Yeah, I still don't want it's a no.
Right.
You did 72 in a year? She okay. Do your shit. Without me.
All right. Is it okay for a friend to date or talk to your ex?
No.
I don't care.
Okay.
No, you answer first.
I'm gonna go with nah.
It's
ain't
not
cool.
okay.
It ain't cool.
Depends on how much I love her.
All in it. If it ain't my ex-wife, I don't care.
Yeah, that's the love.
I mean,
The seriousness.
I just
should
feel like
say.
I ain't have enough time to really think about this because it does
You had this
depend
question?
on.
Hey.
I was about to say that.
But this is your like, okay. So when I posed that question, I was thinking like, this is my good friend, like my ace, and like of all the men,
Oh yeah, that's a
you
no.
gonna sit
That's
up
probably
here
gonna be a no.
and
Your good friend. Your really good
a friend. Period. It doesn't have to be a good friend. It could just be a friend. Period. That knew that you had this relationship with this person, and for them to turn around, like I said, all these people, you want to turn around and talk to my ex?
But what if the
maybe
vibe
they was for you.
good?
Shit, it
what
is
if
what
the
it
vibe was
is.
good? And I'm only just playing devil's advocate right now because what if the vibe was good though? You know, like what if
The vibe was good.
It's not
I
like
think the only problem-
she chose your friend specifically or your man's or ex specifically, but you know, it was just something that happened.
Look, watch
Go
this.
find a good vibe with another man.
Watch this.
Don't find a good vibe with my ex.
Her only,
Right.
her
with my
only
ex.
problem with it is she think that they were probably already liking each other. So now it's like, how could you really be my friend? Because you was probably liking my man at the time.
9 times
While
out
we
of
was
10, that's
together?
true.
Yeah,
They was
that's-
though. They was checking him out, seeing what he was
possible.
doing, like how he take care of you, all kind of stuff. And then all the little y'all run back and remember when y'all first get in a relationship and y'all, man, he rocked my world.
Yeah, for me personally, yeah, nah, I wouldn't be okay with one of my girls rocking with a dude I met.
As long as it ain't my ex-wife, I don't care.
I just find it interesting that the guys y'all said that y'all okay with it.
No, I said no.
You
I
said it
no.
depends on how much you was in love with her.
That's true. Yeah, if it's just like a chick I'm kind of talking to, and then we ain't like get far, I don't care. But if
I
I
don't
love
care.
them, it's a no.
Far.
I don't care about none of my, if they
So
talk
if
to
you
none of
love
my
the
exes.
woman,
I
but-
thought I loved a couple of them.
exactly. So if your guys got right on there, you wouldn't care.
I don't care.
I mean, why you choosing her?
Right, all these other people you want
Not a fish in
to.
the sea.
If it's right when we broke up, I might feel some way. I just don't. I guess at this point in life, like, if it ain't my ex-wife, I don't really care. The rest of them wasn't it anyway. If you want to go, I done told some of my homies, hey, shoot your shot if you want to. I don't care. They exes in the past. I let that go.
Ebony, how you feeling over there? I heard that.
I just think that's
ain't
interesting. Like the
with
guys
it.
don't care who, especially like if it's a friend, like your homie, and
Maybe y'all
Right.
was meant to be together. I don't know.
If
You
She
are
I ain't,
able
she
to-
not for me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't for me. So
and then what if they get serious? Now you got to constantly still, especially if this is like a good friend of yours, you got to constantly see this person in your circle.
I
No,
guess for
I
me,
think-
I ain't never left nothing in a bad way where I cared about being around none of my exes. So
I think it,
I don't think it would matter. Like if you with one of my friends, like
I think it would mentally weigh more on the friend than me because
Right.
I'm not with her no more, and all you gonna be thinking about is how I suplexed her. You know.
So I think when I thought of that question, I was looking up. Well, I was looking it up, but then I thought of the Love Jones situation when I believe Nia Long's character, how she was talking to Lorenz Tate, but then they kind of broke up, but then she went and started talking to Bill Bellamy.
Owen.
Also, it's Hoeing now.
Oh my God! You see all this stigma?
I plead the fifth.
What? What is that? Finish your statement.
I was
girl.
I was just saying I thought of that, and so now that's hoeing. So okay, I got it. So
It's hoeing, but you don't care about it.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't care if whoever
Why is
slept
it
with 30
labeled
people
like
that's
that, though?
hoeing.
Yeah.
That's what is it?
If okay, y'all didn't work out, and then she ends up connecting with your friend, and then they work out. Why is
They
that?
didn't work out because
Or
she
they're
came back
working
to
out.
Lorenz Tate. But anyway,
you can I?
I was thinking of the she was saying the Love Jones situation. That's why I was at mentally.
Y'all don't
You
feel
came back
no,
anyway.
Y'all don't feel no type of way by doing a group of friends? Because when we say it like that,
What?
then y'all get offended.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Like, you saying you go from this friend to that friend because that friend didn't work out. Y'all don't feel no type of way by staying in the same circle?
No, I personally do. I don't think that goes well together.
Absolutely
No,
not.
No, you don't mess with the friend circle. It's just,
That's how I feel.
you just don't do it. Like, nah. But men have done it, and I don't know why it seems that
Who does it more, men or women?
Women.
Mess with the friend circle?
Yes.
Women.
Please expound. Well, let me get your answers. That's a good one.
I'm gonna have to say men. Men don't have a problem with moving from. I think women in that situation, I would hope to think, and from what I've seen, we have a little bit more standards. I'm not gonna be jumping from homie to homie. That's not cool.
This high, your standards is kind of slighted. If you feel like men go through friends more, where your standards at that you sleeping with a dude that slept with everybody in your clique? But you feel like y'all have standards because y'all don't do that?
I see what you're saying. I do see what you're saying, and it's kind of like a twofold. It really is a twofold. It's like a double-edged sword because both are doing it.
The dude only sleeping with all the friends if they letting him.
But I do agree with Ebony, and I will say this because a lot of times, even if a man is not successful, a man will try to shoot his shot within that friend circle.
Women,
but a woman won't though.
Watch this. Y'all swear y'all loyal to each other, right? Women so loyal to each other, right? Would you sleep with your friend ex dude?
Absolutely not.
Would you?
No.
Exactly. So how is it that men is going through all these friend circles if that's how women are?
Well,
on the flip side, most men be like, "Oh, you smashed the homie, she must be or whatever." They all gonna try to do it if she going. So women do more
A man's
friend
flesh
circles.
is weak.
People flesh is weak. Flesh is weak.
Men.
The statement that stands in here is men fuck who they can and women fuck who they want. That, and we only could fuck if y'all let us. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can say, I want to fuck this dude. 9 times out of 10, y'all gonna fuck that dude. We can say we want to fuck this girl, this girl, this girl. We ain't gonna get it unless y'all allow us to.
And that's exactly what y'all said. I'm not gonna mess with my friend's ex.
But then he fucking the whole crew.
How? Either y'all liars or some, because how is he doing the whole crew?
What I was saying is that I feel like men will try to get through the whole circle, and I'm not saying that they are always successful in doing so. But I have seen situations where dudes, they do try to get through the circle. Like, they'll go through one girl and then they'll try to move on to the friend. Like, if we all friends and we all in this circle and it didn't work out with this one chick, now he finna move on to the next. Now, whether she's gonna go, obviously it's up to her. But at the end of the day, I see what you saying, Punk, is it goes both ways.
It has no choice.
But not all the time do I feel as if women are willing to just be like, yeah, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and be with this dude, even though, I know he was just with my girl, so let me go ahead and just let him.
And you think men to be like, oh yeah, come on. I'm
I think men are more pursuant to doing that though.
exactly. So that's
And
why
a woman is
women go
more
through more
like-
men's circles than a man going through women's circles.
I don't.
Because
I don't
if
agree
we're
with that.
willing to do it more than y'all, why would it be the opposite?
Because we are less likely to say yes. We are
So
less likely
so
to
this was the
even
question.
engage in that.
This was the question. Do men sleep with more friend circles? Or do women sleep with more
I
friends?
get what
So
you're
if
saying.
y'all not okay with letting a man go through y'all circle,
then the
clearly
answer is yes. Men do it.
they can't. If y'all not letting them, they can't. So clearly, women have to be going through more friend circles.
I think men try to do it.
That ain't what we asked. We asked what happens. Women go through more circles than men do.
That's women don't go through more.
Unless y'all lying about y'all moral standards.
Our moral standards are what we say our moral standards
Okay then.
are. But
Okay.
I won't sit here and end this and say yes, women do go through more circles than men. But
The men can't do it if y'all don't let them.
is it okay to have a friend of the opposite sex that your spouse does not approve of?
No.
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 What would be reasons not to approve of?
Y'all used to fuck.
Any other ones than that?
No, not really.
All right, I guess that sums it up.
Yep. But what if they never smashed, but they had
I'm just saying, what if
some
is
type
there
of
anything
relation?
else?
They were in a relationship and it never went anywhere, and then they broke up and then they became really good friends.
What if they had no relationship at all and they just friends? Is there any reasons why you wouldn't approve of it?
I think people don't want to
Nah,
see.
not if they just friends.
Okay.
No, I
But you
think.
got to be invited to the book club.
Yes.
I think in general, people don't want to see their significant other happy with another.
With the opposite sex.
With the opposite sex, because you supposed to be there and they feel
You're
some
supposed
type
to be
of
they happy.
yeah.
Just the
That's-
opposite sex or any sex?
No, just the opposite. Because
I think, yeah.
people could care less if they happy with their girlfriend.
sex,
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But when you see another man making your girl happy, you start thinking they
That
tickling
nigga ain't make her
and all
happy.
that.
I did. She just out with him hanging out, but I made her happy. I don't know. That ain't never been a concern.
But remember when I don't even know if I mentioned this last time because I know like the episode of Martin when Gina was going shopping, getting
They used to
those
smash.
shoes and stuff.
Huh.
No, they never smashed.
No,
did they?
they
But
did it.
Martin didn't want to go with her shoe shopping,
So he went.
so he went. And even though he was pushing up on her, I think at the end of like the episode or something like that.
He
I
wanted
think-
Pam. He don't want.
he wanted.
He didn't want
Pam.
Gina. He wanted Pam.
So he was using Gina to get close to Pam. So at that time, it was cool. And Martin was like, yeah, because I don't want to go. So yeah, let him go. And so he was going shopping with Gina and they were spending a lot of time together and stuff like that. And he was cool with it for a minute. But then it became uncool for him.
Because she started talking like, okay, such and such is doing this, such and such is doing that. Then he started thinking like, okay,
There's
what's really
the
going
problem.
on?
Why is you
Making her
putting it in my face what this other nigga doing?
Because he's making her happy.
And see, that's the
And
thing
that's
though,
where the
because
jealousy
women.
But it's
women-
only jealousy because you're throwing something in my
It's
face.
only jealousy because it's the opposite sex. Because a woman can do the same thing with her girlfriend and come home and tell her man, her husband, and like, babe, you know, me and Ebony, you know, we went shopping, we did this, we went out to eat, we went to this fancy restaurant, and it was great, and this and that, and you will feel no type of way about it.
Because I
But
don't never
you-
want to hear what you and some other dude doing.
Exactly. So
Because he's
that's
making
the
her
thing,
happy.
though. It's the fact that it's the opposite sex, right?
Yes.
And what if it's just coming off as casual conversation? Oh, such and such.
Did I ask you?
Okay.
It wasn't casual conversation then.
So I got a
But
question.
maybe she's just telling you about her day.
Yeah.
You know, me and Otis, we went
if I knew
to
you
the
was
mall.
out, okay, you and Otis
but
went
again,
to the mall.
even in that, I'm sorry, Big
No,
Man,
no,
I
go
want to say
ahead.
something, but even in that episode, you know, he was going. You didn't want to come with me shopping for shoes, but if you say,
Right.
like, you know, babe, how was your day? And I'm with Otis, and
You ain't have
me
to
and
say
Otis,
you was with. You could have
we
said,
went-
I went looking at shoes.
But it'll be a
All
problem
right.
No,
if you
if she
later
don't-
found out that I was with Otis and didn't tell
listen,
you.
if she don't say that, you gonna feel some type of way when you find out.
Then
Like,
you
why
really
you
gonna be
avoided
tripping.
saying you was with Otis? So it's like a lose-lose situation then.
So your ass shouldn't have been with Otis.
So
But
then
you
you
didn't
know
want to
go.
But you didn't
That's
want to.
simple.
You didn't want to go with me. And you said that you
So
didn't
hold on,
mind.
I didn't want to go with you. Did you tell me, well, babe, I'm gonna go to the store with Otis?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay, so I knew you was with him. So I didn't need you. Ain't need to tell me when you came back in about you and Otis shoe shopping. I knew you went with him.
So
shoe shopping.
you're okay with her going shoe shopping with Otis in the first place?
No.
Okay.
But you weren't willing to go with her.
So
homie,
if you
you-
ain't willing to go to the game with
because
me
I
and I
can't
take
go
another
to
chick
that.
to the
I'm-
game, that's
Don't
cool.
turn this way. I'm with him. on
Is that cool?
Like,
Yeah, what is that?
Can I take old girl to the game with me?
to the Bulls game?
Yeah, you know, cause you don't want to go. Is that cool?
I'm gonna want to go. So
Right.
Yeah, that's
Sorry,
a no. I'm gonna
can't-
answer for
can't-
them. They
exactly.
say no.
can't answer that for you. But
So can you leave your significant
Babe, I want to
other?
go camping, like real in the woods, you know, in the tent and stuff. You don't want to go. Cause you ain't trying to go. You ain't trying to go play. You ain't trying to go sleep in the woods. So I take old girl. That's cool.
And y'all staying
So
the night
listen.
at the no.
That's
It ain't
different.
cool, right?
But
Cause that's
different.
Why is
gonna no, yeah,
different?
that's different.
That's different. That's
We just
different.
going
Yeah,
We
shoe
could go to the,
shopping.
we could go to the game though.
Man,
No, you can't go to
Why
the game.
not?
I'm
Did you ask me if I want to go to the game?
If you didn't want to go to the game, can I take old girl to the game?
Why you can't take your other friend to the game? Like
The
your
same
other
reason
male
you ain't
friend.
take Otis, somebody else instead of Otis to go buy shoes.
Otis volunteered to come with me to
And
go
so
shoe
did she.
shopping.
And I
She
and
love
I,
basketball.
And I asked you if you were okay with that, and you said yes.
I wouldn't have said yes. It would have been a no.
So listen, can you leave your significant other in the house with the best friend while you go out?
Yes.
Yeah.
That doesn't bother you.
No.
Like my homies, my best friend.
No. Her best friend, the male
The
friend.
dude.
Yeah,
Hell no.
that's what I'm saying. Or the female friend. Like, do you be
Honestly,
like,
wait. I think it depends. So, like, if this been her friend since before she knew me, and I knew that already, and they ain't never had no dealing that I know of. So in my mind, I'm really because I have female friends that I've never dealt with before my wife. You know, she knowing whatever. So I would expect the same thing. But some new dude that just came along the way since we been together, and there's no.
oh yeah, I knew Terry from 6th grade. We was best friends.
Nah, I ain't never met this to two. No, I ain't no. But if this your bet, like I know, you know what I'm saying? I know him. We done been around each other, all that. It was prior. I don't think women can't have male friends and men can't have women who's friends. I don't think that. But it ain't finna be no spur of the moment pop up shit like somebody you just met and is, oh, we're so close. No, he got a motive. Cut it.
So a man has to have a. You think men-
People have to have a motive.
Okay,
Women,
people.
men. I
People.
don't think it's just a
Girls,
man
don't
thing.
ever.
So how do you
I'm
feel
just saying
about-
that because I like women, and if another man was, he got a motive. But
So what
For
about
y'all-
work friends? Like they work together for 2-3 years straight. You there 8 hours a day, 5 days a week. You gonna become
absolutely.
friends.
But I
with
probably
a
done
person.
met them. We done hung out, been around them. If y'all that cool and all of that, then I'm sure we done kicked it.
Mhm.
However I feel about the person, the vibe, whatever, cool. You know, if they really a friend, it ain't gonna feel awkward, or it ain't gonna.
Yeah, I feel you on
The
that.
energy gonna be, but outside of that, no.
All right, I want to spice up y'all life a little bit real quick, right? Because this is just random dance, like
Put some
little-
cayenne in it. Come
a
on.
little bit of spice, cracked red pepper. Do y'all think that if y'all are out with y'all wives, or girls, or however you want to, spin it, because we generalize.
We married. You can
things.
say wives.
I know, but I know we do generalize things too. So I'm trying to put it out there on a more broader spectrum. And she invites her girls. Are y'all buying her girls
No.
drinks?
The first one, yeah.
It depends
Hold on.
on.
Are you buying drinks or are you paying for the tab? Let's get
You
to
just-
it.
It depends on how many
That's a good
friends.
question.
What was
It
that?
I'm
depends
buying
on
the
how
first
many.
round, and then after that,
You on your own.
You on
Nah,
your
it
own.
depends on how many friends and if I like them or not.
I really don't dislike my white friends.
I don't
so-
either, but I'm saying if it was something
So
that I
how
didn't
do y'all,
like,
do
then
y'all
no.
think? So again, generalizing stuff.
And I'm
Do
still
y'all
not
think
buying all of them.
Men are. Do y'all think men do that? Like, is there a motive or a reason why? Like, okay, a man is out with his girl, and she bring her girls out too. Like, yeah, baby, I'm gonna go ahead.
A motive? What you mean motive?
Like
No, I
anything
don't-
behind it.
I don't-
Behind men paying for
drinks.
I don't think
his
so.
friend, his girlfriend drinks.
Yeah, or even somebody that he's dating. Like
Nah,
if he's just like
listen,
dating her.
I'm the type, I do the first round if I'm dating you and all that because I like having a good time. I like good vibes. I like all that. So I'm gonna set the tone with that. We gonna drink. We here to have fun. I'm not trying to get with your girls just because I bought them a drink. I'm here to have fun. That's
I
really
agree. Yeah,
that
that doesn't necessarily mean that like he's trying to like throw some type of signal or like I'm trying to just because he's being nice and picking up the tab
I'm
of.
really broke.
There was a broke baby.
So also
Hold on. Ebony, you expect your man to pick up the tab if he have
No, I don't. Not at all. Like
Praise
if
the
he
Lord.
chooses to, then that's fine. But
so here,
I'm not expecting him to do anything.
for whatever reason, like I don't feel like some stuff. I don't feel like women. I feel like it's okay for women to be taken care of in a sense. So I don't really care about paying for certain things and that's why I said it's not
But
for
it's
everybody.
if you
but
like them.
right, yeah, because it's just a.
So if your wife is out with her friends and it's a chick in the group that you don't like, are you buying drinks for your wife, those girls, but not this one particular girl?
Lie.
You gonna
you
gonna
Go ahead and lie.
single her out?
Cause he gonna go ahead and say, I'm gonna just buy you some, wife. That's
Yeah, I'm about not buying everybody drinks because I just can't. I might buy her one just on some, I ain't that type of person. But if you don't like me and I don't like you, no, I'm not funding you. But it's hella times we go out and I'll be like,
this freeloading ass mother.
yeah, but I really feel like women should be taken care of. So it's kind of like, it ain't a big deal, but
Okay,
nah,
baller.
it ain't even that. Nah, it don't even be that. But that's what I was finna say. If it's y'all out for like a wedding, a birthday party, and it's no, I'm not paying for all y'all drinks.
But y'all just out at the bar.
But we just out at the bar. It's a couple of y'all. Yeah, like I don't really care.
Sorry.
It's a cutoff for you basically.
Hell yeah. If I ain't I ain't sleeping with y'all. Nah, I'm not funding like that.
Man, have y'all ever went out with your wives and all her friends? Because that shit don't.
Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because I'm a fun guy.
They be partying, so it don't be they partying. It'd be cool.
I be hyping them up. I be in the, hey, so they be lit.
Intermission right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay.
I might be there. Y'all just-
We good. So I had
Back at it again.
made this post that said one group of individuals are taught to be financially stable to take care of the family. Another group is taught to be financially stable to take care of themselves. One group is being taught selfishness while the other isn't.
You gonna go first, or you want somebody else to speak?
That's how I feel. So I want to know how
You feel like
one group is being taught selfishness. Yes,
Explain.
I want to know if y'all
Okay.
feel like that.
No, I don't think it's selfishness. I think, like I said, you come in the world when you first start off on your own. You only got you, so you got to make sure you good before you can make sure anybody else good. If you always make sure everybody else good, you gonna be fucked up at the end of the day.
When did you ever just have you?
When you got put out your house at 18, everybody ain't get to.
You said when you come in the world, all you got is you. Like, no, somebody taking care of
I'm
you
saying
from jump.
once you on your own, like once you graduate high school, college, whatever it is, most black families you got to start doing immediately for yourself. So you taught to make sure you good first, and then you could take care of others. So I don't think it's selfishness. You need to make sure you straight.
I just don't think everybody taught that. But
So when I hear that question, I immediately go to, a family, man, woman, regardless if you're married or not, but man, woman, boyfriend, girlfriend, whoever. And I would like to think that it was us, but like I mentioned before, I've never been in a situation with a man, and it's kind of sad, where a man thought about us, who put me first. So I think that's why I'm automatically, okay, it's about me. I'll take my son's father, for instance. He says he wants to be with me, be in a relationship with me. Why am I outside shoveling snow? Like, isn't that something that, like, a man should be trying to...
Yes.
So... how can I take you serious and you got me over here shoveling my snow by myself? Like, where's that, you taking care of me, you looking out for me?
Have you expressed that?
I have. And I think that's why we're at the situation, at the point that we're at. Like, I can't take you serious if you're not doing the basic, things, that a man should be doing.
which you shouldn't. I guess from my thought process, I'm thinking of the world feel like a man should provide, take care of his family.
Financially?
Yes.
Okay.
And the woman is like, they're typically taught to be independent and to make sure they can take care of themselves and not depend on a man. So you're being taught to worry about you, where a man is being taught to make sure the family is good.
So let me ask you this. Do you feel that that is wrong? Or do you feel like that is the incorrect way for man and woman to be taught?
No, but I feel like it do breed selfishness, because if all you worried about is you, and the man is making sure he's thinking about everybody else, you're not.
Okay.
And that kind of speaks to the woman being the prize and them feeling like, you should seek me. Like as if
courting. You should court me.
Whatever.
You should do these things. Okay, so I don't think that it's selfish for a person to think about themselves. And I'll just kind of separate the two, because like Big Homie said, in the black communities, yeah, we are raised or almost forced to think of self. So it's
and
not,
it sucks.
It does suck. So it's not everybody's situation, but it is some people's situation. It can be anybody's situation, no matter race, color, whatever it is. It could be anyone's situation. Whereas you were born into a life where you didn't have many options. Your only option was, self. You had to rely on self. You had to get out here in this world and you had to survive. It was survive mode. So I was, a person can be forced to go out here, grind it out and think about themselves, which makes it unfortunate for a situation where a woman can get involved with a man where that is her mentality, because that is how she was forced to grow up. It doesn't mean that she was necessarily raised that way.
Why isn't a man forced to grow up that way?
I think it just depends on the lifestyle. I'm not saying that he's not, because when a man is out here on his own and he don't have nobody giving him the tools, a man is going to grind differently than a woman is grinding. But at the end of the day, we both grinding, and a man could be out here and dealing with, as you say, like, dealing with the world, and he could be dealing with the woman too. But at the end of the day, it's like, can you really fault either party for the way that they were brought up, or the way that they were raised, or the way that they weren't raised? Because some people were raised, or some people were brought up individually. Like, yeah, we were born in a home, but as life carries on, the lifestyle changes, and you can be put into a situation where you don't have the many options, where, yeah, I gotta get out here and I gotta get it for me.
I think
don't
men
think it
have
makes
to
it
do that way
selfish.
more than women.
I can agree with that.
I don't. I
But
think
I think
The
men do
provide
it
part.
way more than women.
do what
But
exactly?
get out here and get it because they don't have a choice. Because whatever's going on in the house, if mama was single, he became man of the house at 15, or at 18, you gotta go because you gotta take care of yourself. That's not happening to women as much as it happened to men. So I feel like men definitely dealing with that way more, but even in dealing with that, they know that they have to be able to provide for whatever woman that they decide to do whatever with. They have to be able to have something where when a woman is put out there on their own or whatever happened, is make sure you're good. They not telling them make sure you and he good, make sure you and dude good, make sure the family. That's not where they're telling you to focus.
Lately, I've been seeing that women have had to step up and take that role to make sure that a man has been good. I don't know if it's like this generation of men.
Yes, they trash.
I agree.
I'm not gonna agree with that. We're doing a good job. We're
Nah,
Doing a good job.
Nah, we.
90s fathers are way worse than these guys today.
No, that is definitely true. That's definitely true. But it is a lot of messed up stuff where y'all can feel like y'all being forced into that. I'm saying what's being taught
Now,
from the beginning. Like you say you teach a woman how to be a woman, a man how to be a man. What is being taught early?
Mm-hmm.
One is being taught to take care of family, and the other one isn't.
Is that true though?
But for the most
Or are
part,
they being
yeah.
I mean, but do
do
women not take care of their families too, though?
But I think it's a gender role in
There
a
we
sense, because women might
Does
not be.
that gender role breed selfishness?
But listen, women might not be financially providers, but they're bulking the most of like kids, household stuff. So is
The
that
A
the
not?
man
heavy
buys
lifting.
a house and a woman makes it a home. Everybody got their role.
So
No, you disagree?
I don't know.
You
I just
shaking
What's
think
your
it's
making it a
it's
head.
home?
roles.
What's
I think it's
making it a
really
home?
A man buys the food and a woman cooks the meal.
And if your man, okay,
Your man
I get what you're
brings
saying.
home the money, and the woman is going shopping for kids' clothes, toiletries, house products, cleaning supplies.
BBLs.
The woman is doing the laundry. Sidebar. The woman is doing the laundry. She is making that house a home. So everybody.
Was you taught to
we
be
all
independent?
playing a role. Was I taught to be independent? I was forced to be independent, and
Yes.
that is why I was so adamant about what I was saying, because sometimes we don't all grow up in that lifestyle where we were raised a certain way. Sometimes it is what it is. Life teaches you things, your experiences, the lessons, your mistakes. You learn, and then you get it how you do. And that's why I'm saying, like, I don't necessarily look at it as selfish, but I could be wrong depending on the man that I'm with. I could be presenting a selfish act towards this man based on my lifestyle, based on how I was raised, or based on how I grew up. If I grew up in the trenches or whatever it is, my lifestyle is, or my makeup is, let me make sure that I'm good, because
So it's a societal thing.
Yes, absolutely. And from that, like Big Homie said, if you good, then now I can try to figure out how we can be good. How can I help and assist my man or my husband? How can I make this house a home? How can I make this lifestyle work for us now? But it doesn't mean that I'm intentionally being selfish because I'm putting me first, because me is all I've ever known. That could be anybody's situation. It should not hold a bearing towards, the person that I'm with, and it might.
You saying the selfishness not intentional?
Exactly. But again, like Ebony had mentioned earlier, we talked about communication or conversation. You can have that conversation though, because it could be something that's really misunderstood. But understanding somebody's lifestyle and how they grew up, all of those things are important in communication. You have a conversation, you getting to know somebody, you learn those things.
Yeah, it's come off as selfish.
So, hold on, Punk, can I ask you, so you feel like women are taught to be selfish with that?
In a sense, yes.
Can you expound on that?
Just because when you talk to worry about you so much, you.
But they taught to worry about their kids too, though.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't just them.
Okay.
I'm just saying that's not selfish. That's something.
I mean, in the man-woman relationship, you'll still come across as selfish. But that's why that's why I'm saying, like, a man is still taught to take care of a woman, provide whatever, even if they ain't doing it. Somebody told them that.
But they not doing it.
They not.
So.
But they're being taught. So even when they both in them trenches, a man gonna feel like, I gotta make sure my girl straight, my family straight. Where you're being taught self-preservation, I gotta make sure I'm good. Because a man might not, which is, I get it. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying that it's necessarily that y'all shouldn't have been taught that, feel that way. But to me, it breeds some selfishness.
So you don't think men are taught to make sure you good before you make sure somebody else good?
No, not when it comes to your family.
I think
when you taught to be a provider, to make sure that your family good is taken care of, a real man not putting himself first before all of that is what it's supposed to be.
So he's taught that, but he's not doing that. So where did it go wrong?
I don't know men like that, so I'm struggling with that. These people must be knuckleheads or something.
It's a lot.
It's a real struggle.
Like, where did it go wrong?
I don't know, because I don't know men like that.
I blame 90s fathers for all this stuff, this disconnect we have.
Maybe.
Because they became real.
Late 80s, too.
Late 80s, yeah. I'm not going to forget
them. Don't
let
them skate.
It became more of a... It changed from like 50s and 60s. Even though like back then they had 2-3 families, they made sure all 2-3 families was good.
Yeah, they was present.
But once the 80s and 90s men became adults and stuff, it was more like, let's chase money and worry about ourselves. And I think that's where the disconnect came from that you was asking about.
Mm-hmm.
Did we have another topic?
No, that was the only topic we had. Y'all want to talk about something?
So you don't want to talk about the topic that you was telling us about?
Angel got to get her
information.
I didn't. This is just for informational purposes only.
Let the people know. I can turn my mic off for this.
I don't really have. I had to do some extra research last night because last part we had talked about
Vienna.
Tuna
shaming of men, because we talked about the Nelly sex tape and the Little Fizz mushroom stalk, and the guys were saying that it was body shaming, and I don't know how we got on the topic about like circumcision, Do anybody know how we got on this topic?
No,
No,
I
it
don't
matter,
remember.
but let's
All
get
right,
into
so
it.
I don't remember.
When I was in college, I had to do a paper, and it was like an argumentative paper where it was like, which, one versus the other. So I chose to do cut versus uncut when it came down to circumcision.
Cut versus
BET.
uncut.
That was literally the title of that was literally the title of my paper. Yeah, it was cut versus uncut. And just, I was doing my research trying to figure out what people were saying, the medical aspect of it. And so I did some extra research last night, and I read that, from a medical standpoint, for, young boys that are babies rather, it's good for them to get circumcised for health reasons, because there's a certain amount of numbers, and I think it was like 1 in 20 babies can catch, different bacterial infections, but as they become, adult men, it lowers to 1 in 3. So the health aspect is very important, obviously, because you talk about, how difficult it could be to clean it. You can get UTIs, you can get, different infections, words that I don't even know how to pronounce, but it was a lot of stuff on there which made me look like, man.
So do you believe we should have kept it?
Let me keep going.
Oh, okay.
So, you read about the medical part because I think that's what they put, first, and then you get into, religious views and why people prefer to keep it as is, and then you go off into, the sexual part. And I think that because, as society as we know, 90% of relationships are important because of sex, and I quote punk. So I got into
90%.
I got into the
said
sexual
70 to 80.
aspect.
Don't act like that.
But let me just say this though, because none of this is fact. Everything is debatable, and nothing has been proven from. I haven't looked up everything from on the health aspect, but it did say that none of it is a fact. Everything is debatable still. It's research is still being done, but when it comes to the sexual part, a lot of women don't know the difference between a circumcised and uncircumcised penis, but it has been said.
Who don't know the difference?
How?
Because a woman, okay, so what I've read is that a woman that has had a circumcised penis and then went to an uncircumcised penis, she couldn't tell the difference. She didn't.
The same sensation.
Yeah, the same sense. Not the same sensation, but the sensation, I guess you can say, is feeling. But I was reading different comments and responses from men that were not circumcised, and the men were saying that this is what they have been told from women, oh, I really didn't know. And maybe maybe 2 or 3 women were confused and they didn't know what to do with it. From a sexual standpoint of not being circumcised, women prefer an uncircumcised penis.
Really?
Prefer
an
Interesting.
uncircumcised penis. So when you do get the foreskin cut off, it does harden the head of the penis, the tip of the penis. It hardens it, which makes it more rough for the vagina, and it decreases the chances for the woman to become moist when you are not circumcised.
Uncut will make you more moist.
No. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Because it is the foreskin that creates more. When you have the foreskin, it's more sensitivity to.
I love this.
It's more sensitivity to gosh, I wish I knew these terms so I ain't gotta use these words. But it creates more sensitivity to the walls of the vagina.
The lining.
Yes, the lining. There we go. guy that works in the hospital. It creates, more sensitivity to the lining of the vagina. And it helps the vagina to become more moist. And women find more pleasure in that. It desensitizes the sensitivity when you are cut. Because of the skin, it becomes hardened to protect itself at some point. So, but they did say that
That's deep.
the winner part for a cut penis.
Winner.
The winner, like
the winner
the
part.
He thinking
the
of a
upside,
turtleneck.
the good part. The good part about an an uncut penis is that y'all could last longer.
Because we ain't feeling all the shit.
Because it's desensitized at that point.
Y'all done cut off all our sensitivity.
But a lot of times, men that do, climax faster are generally the ones that are uncut because
of
it gives them more sensitivity. But it also gives the woman more sensitivity, and it creates more lubricant.
So is that something that a man would share, like, before, I guess, the bedroom? Like, okay.
I would.
You would?
If I was like that, I'd be like, hey, look.
If you was like that.
Check it out real quick. I gotta holler at you about
No
something.
surprises.
I'm pretty sure I'll whip it out first.
I don't think it's talked about. Like, how y'all feel. I don't think it's, like, talked about.
Well, I'm an open guy, so I would be like, hey, look. I got a sweat on my shit.
But they was like, so the articles and stuff that I was reading, they was saying that though, like, some men was cool with it, and it was like, I'll never get it done, and some men have gotten it done at an older age.
They said it hurt way worse when
it
you
does
wait
hurt,
longer.
and it take longer to heal too. But a lot of people,
That's because y'all be body shaming.
a lot of men do it because if you read upon it and they talk about the different type of infections that you can get, but the infections can come from you not being clean. If you know how to properly clean yourself, then you good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
It's hard to tell it for
there are men that are
It ain't been cleaning themselves this long. There's something wrong.
Who want to take a Q-tip in the shower?
What?
Want to take a Q-tip in the shower?
I heard you, but why would you?
How else do you clean it?
I mean, you got to do your research. This. I mean, the topic is cut and uncut, but we're not about to get like.
Okay, I'm just wondering. Like,
we'll talk about it
Okay, I got you.
offline, but that's not. Excuse me. That's not generally like how it is. When I read the poll and I was looking at like the percentages of men who prefer to be cut or uncut, the majority was uncut, but it goes hand in hand too, because I mean, if you've never experienced it, so you wouldn't know. You wouldn't know. And it's the same thing with them. They were like, it's never, I'm not like that now. I'll never get it done. The women that I've been with has never complained about it. Some of them didn't even know the difference. It was just nothing. And some of them, from the sexual like aspect, it felt better to them.
For the
This
man
nigga
or for the
mind
woman?
blown.
For both. For both. It felt better for them. So
So how would a man?
no, you cannot.
Wait, can you say what you was gonna say? I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
So can I ask a question?
No, I said no.
All right, listen. So in y'all personal experience,
That's why I said no.
would y'all prefer
Brother?
cut or uncut?
I've never dealt with an uncut.
Cocaine said you don't know that or not.
I've never dealt with it,
I'm
so I
okay.
wouldn't know.
Okay.
That's what I.
You read it to her.
Cocaine said they said women don't know the
Wait.
difference. So that's what she said.
No,
Wait.
when I've read, I was reading. I literally was reading this last night, and this it was responses from men who have uncut penises, and yeah, that's what they said.
Can I get your
the
response?
responses from women were saying like, oh, they didn't even know, but then there were like 2 or 3 that didn't know what they were doing. They were like, oh, well, he was like, I found out that she called her girl and was like telling her this stuff, and then she was like, I really didn't know what to do with it.
Do with it how? Like,
recording.
No, she didn't know what to do with an uncut penis because, she's
Cocaine,
always
Keith.
had, one that was
Okay.
cut. So that was just what that was. But I
What do
think,
you
I
prefer?
think this was a really good topic for all of us.
She ain't gonna get into it. She like an uncut. She like a turtleneck.
I
What do
think
you
to
prefer?
each their own. How about that?
What about
Is
you
that okay?
and your own? Ebony answered. You gonna leave
You know
her
what?
hanging?
I don't discriminate.
Oh, so it don't bother you.
It does not bother me. I feel like,
She prefer uncut. She said it feel better,
I
create more
think-
moisture.
I think that, God created us as we are. So if you choose to be that way and I'm dealing with you, then that's what it is. And if you choose to...
That's a whole different
Go
topic.
ahead.
Yeah, but that's
just
what it is.
Go ahead, say it.
Go ahead.
So did it freak you out? Like, does it freak you out just like, because like I said, I've never dealt with the uncut. I've always dealt with cut. And if a man pulled his pants down and I see,
A turtle.
a turtleneck, I'm gonna be like,
Don't.
okay, that's interesting. Like, I'm gonna like
I try not to laugh.
be like, what's going on? Like,
No, again, like I said, I mean, I don't...
She know what to do with it.
I don't discriminate.
Can we
I
turn the camera
like
off? I got
things.
questions.
I think that God made us the way that we are, and I'm okay with, I know how to play spades, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the cards that are dealt to me. If that answers your question,
Do she
it
know
don't.
Do she know how
Yes,
to,
she does know how to play spades.
Because I don't never remember being your partner.
She
We
know how-
never played spades.
She know how to take a turtleneck off.
First of all, and that was something that they mentioned too, though, and it is that could
What?
be considered as body shaming too, because you have
Yes.
if you apparently don't want to talk about your body parts, but I mean, to each their own.
It
If
is.
that, because that wasn't even a decision that you made yourself.
Shout out to my mama.
It was a decision that your mom made for you, so you can't really have you can, because obviously it's your right, but whatever it is that someone else has going on, then that's their
true.
thing, but it doesn't make it right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever
I ain't
this
saying it's
person's
wrong.
preference is maybe
Yeah.
their parent didn't, maybe it was for a religious purpose, because religion plays a big part in that. It plays a huge part in it, where people just, they have that spiritual thought or that spiritual belief, whereas, this is my body, this is the way that it is, and, I'm not going to do anything to tamper with it. And I don't really know what that is, because I don't deal with that, but some people do things based off of that.
Did the first person tell you?
yes or no?
That's why I said, did you deserve to know that from jump?
Yes or no?
Did they
Did you
tell you?
deserve to know that from jump?
Oh my God.
All
She-
right. So, can we change speeds?
Okay.
Where you want to go?
Where you want to go?
How fast?
So this is from Cocaine, real quick. I know we only got like 10 more minutes.
We ain't got 10.
That's fine. Tennis.
We got 10. Oh, okay. We got 10.
Have you ever dealt with
Wait, who is this from?
Cocaine?
I am
Have you-
cocaine.
I
It's
know.
from you.
I know who you are.
Oh, so I'm like, what?
Have you ever dealt with someone that made you get out your body, like you did something crazy, because you may have liked them more than they liked you?
No, I never.
Did you ever get out of your body over anybody?
No, I'm too cool.
Okay. You are suave.
Smooth guy. Yes, I have. And I will say that I will not say what it was, but I hadn't.
We don't own the
it
rights
took
to that.
me- but when you say out your body, like obviously it's like out your normal way of being, right? So
Yeah.
it don't necessarily have to be slashing tires, busting windows out, or stalking somebody like that. It could be something that is to you yourself is just like out of your normal way
Simply
of
as
behavior.
Tessa.
Yeah, it could be something really small. So for me, like I did, but it took
Okay,
me
yeah.
like
I take my answer back. Then.
so many years. Like I've never. I'm not the type to. I'm not slashing tires. I'm not doing the extreme things. But I have said something that I wouldn't generally say to somebody. You know, just out of pure emotion and hurt.
But it was just between you two?
It was just between us two. No, actually, it was between myself and Montana and that person.
Okay.
You know,
so it wasn't witness to it.
No, it wasn't anything physical. It was just verbal. You know what I'm saying?
But somebody else heard it. Somebody else heard it, though.
No.
You said Montana was, though.
Montana was an
Part of it.
accomplice.
Oh. Yep.
I have. I don't know. I just get.
Emotionally wrapped up. And then
I do. Especially
How
when
did you
I'm
know?
feeling someone
Throw it
like
all
that.
on
And then I feel as if you playing with my feelings, then I can turn up a little bit. But not a whole lot, just a little bit. So I have.
Was
would you
it
like
verbal
to
or
story time?
physical?
It was verbal. I don't believe in that whole physical stuff because I'm not
Exactly.
going to do nothing. And then, you know, if a man reacts, you know, I can't. So it was only verbal.
Wait, if a man reacts, you can't what?
I'm not going to put
Be mad.
myself in a situation where a man. Right.
Because you provoked it.
Right.
Okay.
So.
verbal.
only.
It's just verbal.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you say some things that you probably shouldn't say.
And you regret it.
And you
Yeah.
regret it. And I've literally only done that one time in my older adult years, which I could probably be like super, like, you know, it's sad because, you know, it was a low level type of thing. But, you know, I mean, it is what it is.
Story time.
Ain't none of that.
I had to get out my body before.
Hollywood.
Verbally.
I think Pun got a
Physically.
story
Let's
time.
get a story
Oh,
time.
story time?
Story
It can't be, you
We
know.
gonna end the
Go
pod
ahead.
with a story time. Let's get it.
I was in college. Just trying to study, you know, stay up on my coursework.
Study.
Last fucking thing he was doing.
That's all I'm
But
like.
it was the last thing I was doing. But at this particular moment, I was studying.
That's how you know some bullshit.
And
you know.
and the individual was upset at me studying because they wanted the books.
We gonna assume it was a female.
It was
Okay.
You know, when they say
We gonna assume
individual,
it was
it's
your
always the
female.
opposite sex.
Or your
something.
woman.
Just trying to make sure.
Something
Yeah.
like that. But she was just pissed off I was studying because I never studied. And she's just
So
like,
you was doing something out of the norm.
I was, you know, I was studying. And she like, you don't study, you don't have to, I need the book. And I'm like,
You was borrowing her book?
we had the same classes because I was helping her with
So
a lot
you
of her
was borrowing-
shit.
Were you borrowing her
like,
book?
I
He was
wasn't.
borrowing her book.
It's extremely complicated. I would have to give a whole backstory to
Okay,
understand.
continue, sir.
However,
Go on.
we had all the same classes. So I was studying. But anyway, she wanted the book. I was trying to study. She threw all my clothes in the hallway. I ain't tripped. I was sitting there calm. She went and picked up my Xbox
Oh.
to throw it in the hallway.
Not the Xbox.
Not the Xbox.
Not the Xbox.
I let you throw all the rest of that shit, but the Xbox, I ain't have money to
You could
replace
throw
that
the
at
books
the time.
away.
So,
Throw the books away, baby, but not the
at,
Xbox.
at that point,
Who
it
care
got,
about
it got
knowledge?
physical.
Not the game.
At that point, it got physical. My homie, Deuce happened to be in the room.
Oh, those fools, you was
You
there.
know,
Okay.
semi broke the shit. I was calm the whole time.
Semi broke it up.
You know, kind of broke shit up.
They was getting wild.
So you was really out your body.
I was, and I stopped dealing with her because of that.
Did she replace the Xbox?
I didn't. She didn't throw it because
Oh.
when she
You got
grabbed
that
it,
side.
I swooped.
So she
and
put
swooped
her
and it
hands.
wasn't-
All she had to do was put her
Where
hands
said
on the
Xbox at this point in life now?
Shit, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
It was the first one that came out. I have no clue.
Where
She bought it
said
too,
Xbox.
but I ain't had the money to replace it. So
She bought
Wait,
it
she
too.
bought
did.
the Xbox.
Yeah.
Oh, she was ready
refund
to take
checks
it
was
back.
busting. No, she was finna throw it.
Go to college, guys.
She was finna throw it. I couldn't do it. Just couldn't happen that way.
Oh.
Deuce in the back. You got something for us or no?
I wouldn't need a mic, and I don't get no mic, so.
But
We
you've
got
been
mics.
talking this whole time, asking
mic.
questions. All
All
right.
right, we
I
could.
think Ebony gotta go.
Yeah.
She did say that.
I do.
That's okay.
I had a great time with y'all tonight.
Thanks.
Yeah, come back and see us again.